Hello, guys. This will be a short one. What just happened in the NFL was all about Donald Trump. I've told you the aim of what I do is to wake you up and basically tell you where the world's going. I said ages ago that Trump is going to come back and he's likely going to be the 47th president. No, he's not. Trump's done. Yeah. Well, he's back, isn't he? And this whole game was about Trump. And Justin in the chat is saying, I wish I'd seen this before the game started. Of course you'd want to know the outcome before the game started. But the reality is, this work is all about revealing. Okay, it's all about revelation. And I'm going to show you why this game was all connected to Donald Trump. When it comes to betting, for anyone out there, even if you were somebody like me whose hit rate's so high, unless you're betting serious money, you have to ask yourself why you're doing it. Unless you're betting, if you're betting like $2 on the Packers or $2 on the Titans and you're doing that and you're coming out with about $100 profit at the end of the month, all right, that's fine. No worries. Enjoy it. But you got to ask yourself why you're gambling. And if you're wanting to make serious money, you have to bet serious money and you have to give your life to gambling. So I don't want any of you doing that. It's not healthy. I did it. I won thousands of dollars. I didn't have to work. I made a living through gambling. You could have called me a professional gambler. But I said, why? Why do I want to do that? Why do I want to give all my energy to this? And then I stopped doing it. So I'm just going to reveal all of these rituals that are going on in the world and how it connects to the end times, how it connects to revelation, how it connects to where the world's going to go. I am going to be coding the World Cup games. I ain't doing them to make you rich. All right. So if you come into my website trying to get rich and this illusion's so good, it's going to win me all this money. I told you, don't support my work if you're going for that reason. If you want to see where the world's going, all right, and see how it is so biblical and that we're very likely experiencing the end of days, Baron Corbin's finishing move in WWE, that's when you want to support me because you care about the knowledge. So listen, love your work, brother. Much love to you, Milan. 13 in the live, 7 likes, 137, the 33rd prime. So let me break this down. Team Warriors went 9-6 last night. Well, 6-9. They went 6-9. It depends how you see it. They've won 6, they've lost 9. Or they've lost 9 and won 6. The Warriors are so connected to Elizabeth, who died at age 96, and she was coronated exactly 69 weeks after becoming queen. 14 in the live, 9 likes. At one point, this score was 14-9. Right, guys, I'm here with Gabriel, who is an absolute godsend to me. Wow, I just said I'm here with Gabriel, and fireworks just went off outside my apartment. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm here with Gabriel. He called me. We're having a chat. I was coding the fourth quarter with him. And Gabriel, didn't I just pretty much call the exact fourth quarter every play? Hello, bro. Did you hear that? Gabriel, can you hear me? No, I think he was with his dogs. Gabriel?
Yes, sir.
Easy, bro. I was just saying. Hey, Lobo. Gabriel Lobo's in the house. Woo! How you doing, Lobo, you legend? It's been a while. I need to get on your show or you on mine. Guys, if you're not sub to Lobo, this guy is just a guy with so much energy and knowledge and humor. And he's just a brilliant guy. And he's in the live chat right now. He's got to support this guy for what he does. He's just got an awe about him, and he's kind of got like a I don't give a shit attitude like me as well to a lot of things. He calls out the NFL as well as anybody. Maybe not with the coding at my level. Like he's not really the guy who's going to code and tell you who's going to win. But my word, he'll show you what a joke the league is as well as anybody. So Gabriel, I was just saying, like that whole fourth quarter, I was coding it in play one, and I literally coded the exact fourth quarter exact. Like every play, I was telling you what was going to happen.
Yep.
And But we were both saying, in order to do that and win this money, you have to be consumed with it. However, even if you are at a really high level, you have to pay attention to the game. You have to look at the line movements. You have to look at the ridiculous interceptions. You have to look at the spread. Like I was like, I bet you anything here, Gabriel. They're all going to go on the spread now on the Packers. There won't be another point scored. And there wasn't. Somebody asked me in my community about, there's 12 minutes left, I think, of the fourth quarter. He said, do you think there'll be no more points in the game? I was like, I don't think there'll be any more points in the game because there's 44 and today leaves 44 days left in the year and Packers gets you 44 and Wisconsin gets you 44. So I'm sure that guy was smart enough for him and he bet in play on the under or whatever it was at the time. So that's what I'm saying. When you bet in play, you can actually win a lot of money. You can go against your original pick. As I told Gabriel, as soon as it went 2017 and the odds were pretty much the same, I said, Titans have won the game. They've won the game because it's all about Donald Trump. And I'll get to that in a moment. So Gabriel Lobo is, oh, well, you're in the chat as well. Yeah. So, wow, oh my word, 16 in the live, 11 likes. The King James Bible was released 1611. Wow. And do you know LeBron James? He's connected to the Cavaliers, isn't he? And he had this ritual with the Cavaliers on 1611 in connection to King James, and obviously LeBron's nickname's King James. I'll do a whole video about that, how LeBron James is connected to that 1611. It's absolutely ridiculous. So you said to me earlier today, didn't you, Gabriel? You was like, if anybody asks you to code a game, don't do it. Because you said, what did you say? Like, I'm a guy who flows, aren't I? I'm a guy who flows when I do it by myself without anybody saying, hey, can you look into this? Can you do that? Can you code this? I just flow and I nail it and I'm pretty much bang on. But these games like Thursday night football, Monday night football, because people are still addicted. They still want to watch these games. They're excited for them. And they're like, can you code this game? And more often than not, I do a 5-minute code just to do people the favor. But do you think I need to stop doing that and just saying, hey, no, I ain't doing it? People are paying me $10. They can't be making requests every day. What would you say to these people? Wait a second. Gabriel, I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you. Maybe it's because my phone's on such low battery. I'll call you back. Can you hear me? I'll call you back. All right, mate. Oh, my word. That call ended at exactly 1 minute and 19 seconds for your 11:09. Technology has been screwing me today. Did you see my earlier live stream? They cut me off. They literally cut me off for the last couple of minutes. They froze me. Right.
Hear me now?
Yes, baby boy. I can hear you.
All right, awesome. What I was going to say is from following you as long as I have, and when people, like, I remember when you were on Patreon, people would ask you, can you code this, can you code that? And what I've noticed, because I was gambling too, what I would notice when you would be asked code stuff, the code would suffer. Code wouldn't be as accurate.
Yeah.
And then when it just comes from you, you're like this one. I think you're close. Like you're in the high 90s.
Yeah, this month I'm in 90 odd percent. But I ain't doing it to prove a point with that. It's good because it shows.
What I'm saying is, I personally don't ask you for codes just because of that, because I know it's possible. And if I do, if someone does, like as soon as you coded the game and as soon as you coded the game, I almost like, nah, the Titans are going to win. Because I already knew. It's just from experience. And then that's why when I started watching, I was kind of like, I'm pretty sure the Titans are going to win. Then you look at the odds, and the odds are meaningless. And
you know how to read my codes as well, don't you? Anytime I say don't bet big or be careful with this, it's literally a code that I've been not forced to do. It's just where people have been in my ear, and it's like, there you go. If I had to pick, I'd do that. Personally, I wouldn't have touched the game because I saw stuff for both. But yeah, you knew not to. You even said to me, you said, you multiple times, you're like, just, I said to you then, I said, I don't want to code a game today. I'm not interested in coding a game today. And I got bombarded with messages because I've got much love. I am getting a lot of new people sign up, and it's about time for what I do. But I'm very grateful to all of you. But just do me the favor, guys, like without being rude here to you and obnoxious and disrespectful, is, guys, what I'm giving you for $10 and you're still asking for more and more. Like, don't milk me dry, baby. You know what I mean? Like, don't milk me dry. I can't code everything for you. I get so many requests and so many emails and stuff and messages and comments and all of that I ain't a guy who's going to give his life to sitting behind a computer and just responding to everybody and doing that. I'm past all of that at this point. So just let me do my thing. My thing is obviously working. I don't mind if you like send comments between you, especially on the website, and you can ping off codes to each other. Like, there's a lot of phenomenal coders in this community, and you can just leave your comments and then do what you want to do with it. Just don't expect me to code every day, every sport, all the time, on top of everything else that I have to do. You know what I mean? Like, a bit of respect. I'm charging you $10.
Well, not only that, man, your code's not going to be accurate. I've seen it. I've been following you. Your code's not, so it's going to be pointless anyways. It's not going to be what they want.
Yeah, it's just exactly. Oh, it's just one of them where you do a classic Zach Hubbard, where you'll give every possible number for both teams. It's like, what was the point?
Well, it's just because it's.
So I'm gonna.
I follow other handicappers. There's a guy named who's really good. He's got in the 70s, 80s, 90s accuracy.
Yeah.
That guy, he only posts for max, and he charges $100. He charges $50 to $100 a month. And that guy, he posts maybe 3 to 4 games a week, but he has a very high win rate. So I think he does the same thing. He cherry picks his people because at the end of the day, you want to win. You don't want to, you want to win the bet, and you want to know who's gonna win. Especially in the beginning when you really can't read the plays, because after a while you get to read. You can tell pretty much who's gonna win just within the first 10 minutes. You can not always, but you can mostly get an indication, especially if you're watching. I don't watch the games anymore, but when you watch it, you can see what's playing out. At least I could. Like, I was able to see it. So I'm going to give everyone here an example of what I'm talking about, as I have 20 in the live, 13 likes, and Francis became the Pope in 2013. So I'm gonna break down this game and what it was all about and how it was all Donald Trump, and it was undeniably Donald Trump. And I figured that out when the score was 7-6. All right. So I'll break it all down. I don't even have to look at my notes. So I really hope there's people in this community now in the live that are going to absolutely appreciate this code, rather than thinking about, I wish I would have known this at the beginning. Of course, you wish you knew at the beginning. You would have put $1 million on it, wouldn't you, if you had it, if you knew the outcome at the beginning. So at the beginning, like, it became 7-0. And we know the 70 guys, Daniel's 70 weeks. Queen Elizabeth was the queen for 70 years. It's huge, the 7-0. And then the Packers got a touchdown. It became 7-6. And I was like, okay, that's Donald Trump's age. Donald Trump's 76. Bill Clinton's 76. George Bush Jr. is 76. 7 times 6 is 42. The beast reigns for 42 months. Bill Clinton, 76, who was the 42nd president. And then they missed the field goal or the 1-point conversion. So if it would have gone 7-7, the riddle was there for Packers to become 7-7 all time against the Titans. But they didn't let it become 7-7. It was 7-6. So I was like, right, that's Trump's age. Trump's all over the news at the moment. And then I said in play,
when the Packers had the ball, I said, look out for the Titans to go up 14-6 when the Packers had the ball, because Donald Trump was born 14-6 and he's currently 76. And what happened? Packers had the ball. They couldn't make a yard. All right, they did a shitty little kick. Then the Titans were like already halfway up the field. There you go. 14-6. I did a live post. I said, this pretty much tells me the Titans win. Why? Why was this all connected to Donald Trump? Trump gets you 47, Democrat 47, Republican 47, DC 47, White House 47, Authority 47, Government 47. The Freemason compass is set at 47 degrees. If the Packers lost, they were going to drop to 4-7, which they did. Trump is running to become the 47th president. So you've seen the 7-6, the fact that he's 76 years old right now. You then see the 14-6, which is his birthday, the 14th of June. And then you've got all the other stuff that's playing out with Trump within the game. You're seeing it all play out. This is Trump. So, of course, the halftime score was 14-6, which then I said to Gabriel, what did I say to you at halftime? If I were betting in play, what did I say I would have done?
Well, you said a couple of things. One thing that comes to mind is you said you should probably go in on the Titans so you cover your losses. You cover.
I said I would, back in the day when I bet, I would hammer the Titans right now, is what I said. I said I'd hammer them when I was betting thousands of dollars with what I saw. Hammer them.
Yeah.
And
But you also, that's when I posted on the, but I was kind of, when I saw that too, I was like, I even posted, if you bet, you need to cover with the Titans. This was an hour, I don't even know what time it was, it was an hour into the game, I believe.
Yeah, and most people won't do it. Like, some people don't have the resources financially to do it. They have X amount of money to spend, and then they invest it, which I understand. You, like, to cover yourself, you somewhat have to have X amount of money in the bank to do that, and just sometimes put your hand up and go, all right, I've put in quite a lot of energy into this game. I've broke even. I've lost a slight amount of money. But most people won't. They'll go, nah, this is a close game. You know what I mean? Like, this is Aaron Rodgers. This is the MVP of the regular season last year. Come on. The game's in Wisconsin. By the way, Wisconsin has sin. The last three letters, sin, and Trump, so satanic.
I can't wait to see the video that Lobo makes on this game. There were so many things that were so blatantly.
Yeah, again, I didn't watch it, but what was the game recently won it? Lobo, if you're still there, brother, did you watch the end of the Bulls and Vikings game? I had the Vikings to win that game. Did you see the ending of that game, Lobo? If you haven't, I actually watched the highlights of it. I don't often do that with any sport, especially the NFL, because it just drives me crazy. But did you saw that? Didn't you took the Vikings, didn't you, Gabriel?
Yeah, I took the Vikings.
Yeah, so did you see the end?
Yeah, it was a joke.
Yeah, because it went to overtime, didn't it? And I was saying Vikings are going to win this 33-30, and they did.
At the very end, when they were I didn't even watch the overtime, so I already knew they were going to win. I knew they were going to win. Same thing with it gets to the point where you start seeing the code, and you know who's going to win or lose in the first 10 minutes. You know, that's kind of where I'm almost at.
Yeah, and often this wasn't so much the case in that game, but like, because the Vikings were getting murdered and came back, didn't they?
Yeah, but they always come back.
Yeah, so and when that happened, it was like, as soon as they took the lead, they weren't going to let the Bulls win. There just wasn't. Like, and all the money was pretty much on the Bulls as well. It's like, and when they started off overtime, they were both minus 106. I was like, this is done. Vikings have won. And it's just, 63 points, and the Bulls dropped to 6-3. And Bulls gets you 63. My whole code was about 63 before the game, and it finished with 63 points. Like, it's outrageous. So This game today, guys, it's 27-17. I keep talking about 10, how Trump's connected to Satan. That's why he always does this when he talks, and all the 666s that I've been doing about him recently. So they win by 10 points, and Satan gets you 10. I told you the game was in Wisconsin, and the last three letters of Wisconsin is sin, S-I-N, sin. And I just said that 17 likes today. What is it? The 17th day of the month. Packers get 17 points. The game started 7-0, 17 the 7th prime. Just scandalous. 7's the 4th prime. It ends with 44 points on the day, leaving 44 days left in the year. I told you that Packers equals 44. Wisconsin gets you 44. Queen Elizabeth died with 114 days left in the year. 11 times 4 is 44. But then they do shit like this. The Packers coach could have got his 44th season win. So I always find the numbers. I'll always find the numbers. Who did Donald Trump replace, Gabriel?
Who did the what?
Who did Donald Trump replace? Like what president did he replace? Trump. Yeah. So Trump was the 45th president. So Obama was the 44th, yeah?
Correct.
And another thing there, 44 points. Donald Trump, guys, he replaced the 44th president. The Georgia Guidestones that just came down, okay, after 42 years, you got the Georgia Guidestones that are so connected to George Bush, who was the president during 9/11. But the Georgia Guidestones were 19 foot and 3 inches. 193 is the 44th prime. I've told you the game started off 7-6. The Georgia Guidestones came down on 7-6 on George Bush Jr.'s 76th birthday. 7 times 6 is 42. This game began 7-6. Wow, now look at this. Now look at this. Wow. I just had 20 in the live and 17 likes. All right, there. It's there again. 20 in the live, 17 likes. The score, guys, this is where you should have, in my opinion, taken the Titans if you would have read my in-play code. But I know people may have been asleep in England, or maybe they weren't paying attention. You do get the notifications when every time I post, thanks to Gabriel. And again, you've got to get to a point now where I am the teacher. I ain't doing your homework for you every day. You know what I mean, Gabriel? Give me a woo. Woo! I am going to guide you and teach you, but I can't take the exam for you. I can't do your homework. So I'll feed you this knowledge like I'm doing now, when tomorrow I'm working non-stop, and I should really just be chillaxing, baby. But I'm feeding you this. I give you all these hints. I tell you like things like in soccer, get on there to be a goal after 90 minutes. Told you at the beginning of the season, do that in every game. You'll end the year with a big profit. Told you to get on number 9s to score. And then we've had all these 9s scoring loads of goals all season in all the leagues. This was all at the beginning. So the score was 2017 because, of course, they had to have the Packers go for 2 points. So they made it 2017. Why? Why did they make it 2017? What connection does that have with Donald Trump? I'll tell you what connection that has to Donald Trump, guys. Because Donald Trump officially became the president in 2017. And the score was 2017 at one point, where the majority of football fans would have thought Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are going to win this. They have to win it. They always find a way in the regular season. 2017, the score was Donald Trump's tenure as the 45th president of the United States began with his inauguration on January the 20th, 2017. The score was 2017 in play. That would have been a prime time opportunity to, if you do bet, which I don't, but if you do, to hammer the Titans. Because, like I said, it wasn't them who were going to drop to 4-7. It was the Packers. And Trump is aiming to become the 47th president of the US. The whole game was about Trump. The whole game was about him. And the 44 is just the number connected to death. It really is. You'll also see that Aaron Rodgers just got his 73rd regular season loss. Okay? His 73rd regular season loss. And the Titans just became 7-3, whilst giving Rodgers his 73rd loss. And how long was Prince Philip married to Queen Elizabeth for? 73 years. What's Brady's Super Bowl record right now? Mr. NFL. 7-3. Okay, so you look at that and you think, this is where it can be tricky. Does that sound too clear? Like Aaron Rodgers can get his 73rd loss and the Titans can become 7-3. It smells like trappy, doesn't it, Gabriel, a little bit?
Yes, for sure.
But there's always little mini traps for both in these primetime games. And like little things like Tannehill. Tannehill's the quarterback for the Titans. And today, Tannehill had a 35 that could have gone for him or gone against him. All right? He just got his 35th all-time road win. Thursday gets you 35, but he could have dropped to 3-5 when playing on Thursdays. And at one point, the score was 14-9. 149 is the 35th prime number. Tannehill had a 35 that could have benefited him or gone against him. JFK was born the 149th day of the year. He was the 35th president. 149, the 35th prime. This is what you need to know, guys. You need to see this, that the whole universe is coded, but it doesn't always mean by being aware of the code that you can determine exactly what's going to happen every single time. Like Tannehill, if he would have lost, this was his 139th regular season game. He could have stayed on 34 road wins. 139 is the 34th prime. That could have happened quite easily. But then he had the 35s. So there's just so much that goes into all of this that at times you've just got to leave it alone. And I didn't know to leave it alone. I said to you, I don't want to code this. I'm not. It's too double coded. And you were right. You were right in saying then don't post anything. You were right. Yeah, you were right.
Well, and when you posted it, I almost went Titans just because you went. Just because I know how you. Then even in the post, you put don't bet big. And as soon as you put don't bet big, I was like, he's not sure about this code. Because when you know that when you're very positive, you'll say, I can't believe them not winning.
Oh, I'll be like, I really like the Celtics to beat the Hawks. So I rarely say I love. I used to say I love, but I'm like, that can really, if people really respect my work and I say I love, people get a bit carried away. And if it misses it. So often if I say I really like, even when I say I like.
But at the end of the day, Adam, we're all adults, man. And we're all men.
All women. We don't want to be sexist here in this world of 2022.
Yeah, we're all adults. We're all women. We're all adults, and we make our own decisions, man. I mean, I've lost money on your picks. I've ever told you no. I've made money on your picks too. I mean, it is what it is. It's my responsibility, man.
In the famous words of Britney Spears, it's my prerogative. That was an awful song.
To be honest, to be fair too, Adam, like on your Eagles pick, I wasn't with the Eagles pick. It didn't feel right, and I bet Commanders and I won at 560.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's phenomenal, and yeah, because I gave a little thing about the 8-1.
A lot of times when I see your code, I'll know which way it's going to go by looking at it, but I won't always agree with it. I agree with it because you're very, like soccer. I usually don't. I go against you with the soccer. You're usually spot on with the soccer. But to this game right here, I was just reading the post, the title. Before the score was 14-6. You posted, be wary if Titans go up 14-6.
And like I said, when I posted that, the Packers had the ball.
Before they scored, bro.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is the Packers had the ball. I didn't post it whilst the Titans were at the 1 yard line. Packers had the ball. And like the odds were pretty similar because they had the ball. And then boom, they gave it up like 3 minutes afterwards. They gave the ball up and then boom, touchdown. It became 14-6.
Well, here's the thing too, for touching on this. So you don't lose money. Like this morning, I bet on a Japan, Canada.
Just know that was nothing to do with me. Just to let people know, I didn't code that.
That was Balzini.
Yeah.
And he said it's gonna draw. So I was like, whatever. So I bet like $10 on it. I bet $5 at plus 200 and $5 at. And the reason I bet the second $5 is because it was plus 333. I was like, all right, and then it became 1-1. I looked at the app and I could have cashed out, and I didn't cash out. And the reason I'm bringing this up, if you're betting, a professional gambler will always cover. It's not about the wins or losses. It's about having more units at the end of the day, week, month, whatever. So like with this game, if you would have went, as soon as you can cover, you should cover because you don't really know which way it's going to go. You don't really know. But if you cover and you make a percentage on the money, then you're not going to lose money. But you're not going to, if you're not, and this is one thing that Adam has said over and over again, if you don't have a bankroll of at least 5-10 grand, you're not.
What are you doing? Like, why are you doing it? Is my if it's all about the money, like you're not making life-changing money by betting $10 on a money line or $20 or even $50.
The rule that I have is I never bet more than I'm willing to lose, and then I don't care. Like once I bet, it's done. And then if I cash out, I cash out. But a lot of times you got to use the cash out feature, and you got to cover, and that's what you have to do, man. And if you're going to cover, and if you're going to bet consistently, you really should use 2 separate betting apps or 3 separate betting apps to cover. So
I'm telling you, mate, the only way you're making profit of gambling is by getting to the level I can code and doing it in play.
Yeah,
simple as that. It's because you can. When I used to do it, and I know we're talking a lot about gambling here, but again, I'm not promoting it. I don't agree with it anymore. But there was times when I was doing it, especially in the NBA, because that's what I excel in. Like at the time when I was gambling, I was just if I coded if I gambled on 7 NBA games, I won 6. And what I was doing, I was betting 7, 8, 9, 10 times in the same game.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. And you have to have the bankroll to do that.
Yeah, and I had it, thankfully.
Yeah.
But most people don't. But anyway, I've noticed more people are coming to the website for the knowledge. I get these emails every day. They're coming for the knowledge. And for what? For $10 that they're getting way more than they could possibly expect. Simple as that.
I said this before. Like I've been awake. I've known how the world works since 2008. 2008, it really got hammered home to me how the world works. So I've been awake, but I was still like, I still believe in the system a little bit. I just knew how certain things work. But since I've been, following your work, you just can't deny it. It's just, I mean, there's too many coincidences. It's not a coincidence. Back to back coincidences. No, there's something to it. Especially when the way you code stuff, like you calling this Donald Trump, and you said this not. You said it multiple times. Like this one, you said, hey, if it says 14-6, that's when Donald Trump was born. Be leery, and you were right, and you did that basically at the middle of the game. And I think that was around halftime, if memory serves me. You already knew who was going to win.
Yeah, I said I would hammer the Titans right now. Is what I said.
Yeah. You hammer the Titans.
But then again, if I do this is where again, like you said, we're all adults. If I would have done a post saying, because I don't like using these words for other people, if I would have done a post saying, guys, hammer the Titans. This is all Donald Trump. It's a lock city. It's definite. Like if I would have given that big one, if I would have given it that huge one, and the Packers won, And people were like, what? You told me it was a lock. You told me it was a gimme. You told me this was free money. I would have got hammered. So I'm like, for me personally, and I'm not going to go on my website, I'm not babysitting adults. I would have back in the day, and you heard hammered the Titans, and you saw me in the second half. I coded the whole second half to perfection. The whole second half, it was like I wrote the script. You heard it. That's why I said I wish I was live right now so they could hear that I've called practically every play that just happened in that second half. And I can do that in practically every sport, but I won't do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm better than that.
I can send you right now people that charge $500 for one pick.
Yeah, there are people. I know them. Yeah.
There's people that charge $150 a week for generally they just tell you the code.
Because there's people betting 20, 30 grand a game around the world.
Exactly. But those people, and I'll send you the websites.
No, I'm aware of them. One guy wanted me to work for him.
There you go.
This is when people tell me that I'm greedy. A guy contacted me, heard about what I was doing. He was actually on my Patreon, and he said that he basically told me I can pay you more money than you're getting on Patreon if you do picks for me. And I said no, I don't. I'm not interested. Number one, I built up that community which got taken off me, and if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have this website. So thank you. But number two, you know who I am at this point. I feel that the illusion or Adam, he doesn't put his eggs in one basket, does he? I've got a website, I coach, I teach, I do all sorts of stuff. I wasn't going to give everything up for the potential of getting more money to work for one guy who could drop dead tomorrow, who could screw me at any point. I wasn't that naive. I didn't give in.
Yeah. Exactly. Because you don't know what he's going to. A lot of times, man, you don't know the guy, so you don't.
Yeah, and I've had loads of people say this to me, and I could have done it, where they were like, "I'll give you this amount of money if you code this game for me, and if it misses, it misses." And even then, I was like, "No, because I don't want you in my ear. I'm not going to give just you my energy. I'll give it to a community of people." But the only time I'd give my energy to like one person is like where they're really wanting guidance, like on how to code and their spiritual journey and all of that. I'll do that. I'll do that with them. But code this game for me. I'll give you $50. No, code it yourself.
Coding is spiritual. It's not mechanical.
I agree. Say that again.
Coding is spiritual. It's not mechanics. It's not mechanical. Even when I bet, if I force the bet and I lose, I don't force the bet anymore. I don't. So if I'll have a good feeling, I'll be in the zone, I can feel it, and then I'll bet. But if I don't feel like it, I don't. Like sometimes I'll look at a code and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, and I don't feel that, I don't bet.
That comes with experience, I think.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
It's not. When you code something, you have to be in the spiritual zone to be connected with that energy to get the code, to get the.
How do you feel about this? That 23 in the live, 20 likes, Super Bowl 56 was 23-20. How do you feel that when I do these like revelation codes or codes connected to I don't know, the World Cup or presidents and stuff, and just bang on codes like the mind-blowing stuff, and they get one comment, but when I code an NFL game, there's like 40 comments. What does that say about society, to be honest?
Most people are asleep about it. Most people, the allegory is the Matrix. The Matrix. Most people are asleep, but it's undeniable. Like like if you just come for sports, they sign up because with the sports, like you charge people $10 is fucking nothing. I mean, it's
not for what I get. For what I give them, it's nothing. For what I give them, it's nothing.
Because like if you're like a gambler, I've already like just off your, and I only bet. I have $100 bank. You know my bet's $5. I mean $3. I don't bet big. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm up, but even betting like that, I'm up. I'm up 600% on my Bet365 account because I started with $10 and up to I was up to 70 and I'm down to 60 right now, so I'm up 500%. And on the on my FanDuel, I started with $18 and I got $40, and that's because I bet without feeling it. And that's when I'm like, okay, I'm back to and being greedy. So if I had not been greedy and and not
It's
bet
a
when
sin.
I'm not
Greed is a sin. It's a sin for a reason, greed.
I could have cashed out this morning. I didn't cash out. I mean, it was a soccer. They were tied 1-1. It was Japan and Canada. They were tied 1-1 at halftime. I should have cashed out. I would have made 20%. $2, but it's still 20. I looked at percentages. So I would have made 20%, and I'd be up 20% on my bankroll. But I was like, oh no, I'm gonna, and Canada scores the last minute. Canada scores.
Of course, they scored in the last minute. Of course.
That's when they scored. The last
and like Canada, like this Canada, like going to the World Cup. They're an absolutely disgraceful nation at football. But I told you earlier, like pretty much every World Cup or NFL season, there's always a surprise package. And it's not because of the coach or the players or the camaraderie. It's because of the code. It's their code.
It's all coded. My friends that watch games with me, like when I watched Monday Night Football, I went to go with my friends. And at halftime, I was like, no, they're going to lose. The Eagles are going to lose. He goes, no, how do you know? I said, they're going to lose. I said, and I started saying, wasn't I right about the Broncos game? Wasn't I right?
Well, speaking about
you're just lucky. You're just lucky.
Speaking about the Eagles, it's their code this year right now. They've got all the Philadelphia numbers. That's why the Philadelphia Phillies got to the World Series. Why the Eagles are doing so well. It's probably why the 76ers are going to end up doing well. It's because Philadelphia right now has this code that's connected to revelation. So that's why an average Eagles team last year, they scraped into the playoffs and this, that, and the other. But now they're like world beaters, like 8-1. And it's not because their quarterback Hurts has suddenly become primetime Brady.
No.
And Brady is not 7-3 because he's such a phenomenal talent. It's his numbers. It's the code. It's the magic, the demons. It's so deep. And I want people to realize that we're in the end times rather than caring about who wins Thursday night football.
But it's a once you see, like, that's why I like the work that Lobo does. Lobo will slow a video down and show you how it's scripted. And if you deny it, you're almost denying reality because he makes it so obvious. Like when I watch, like with the game tonight, I play football. So I know when and I play defense. So I know when they're not. How do you not get the guy down? It's like, what are you doing? It's like I saw like three things, and then the game that was really bad was Monday Night Football. The mistakes that were made in there were just ridiculous. But they intercepted it and scored a touchdown at the last 2 minutes or something like that. And it's just insane, man. They make it so obvious.
Remember when in play, right? The Packers were still had a chance of coming back, and they were 3rd and 19. The 3-1-9 I keep talking about. Brady won Super Bowl 55, 30-1-9. The 319th day leaves 46 days left in the year. He retired 319 days before the Pope's birthday, 46 days after. And the Packers were 3-19. I just laughed at that, and I told you. I didn't say exactly what the next play was going to be in this, but the Packers threw for 18 yards. So they were 4-1. And I was like, they're not going to make it here. But I could just visualize at that point, and I told you that they weren't going to make it. I said, the Packers fans are going to be biting the nails now because if they get this yard and then they work their way up the field, they can get the ball back at the end potentially and win the game. And I was like, and I saw the line and all of that. I was like, they ain't making this. They're not going to make this. And they couldn't get a yard. And the other week with the Packers,
it's ridiculous.
They
you even called when it was 17-27. I think it was like 10 minutes in the fourth quarter that they're not going to score any more points.
Yeah, I said it'll stay on 44 points. And if you would have seen my in-play code and you know how to bet because you're knowledgeable like that, like the guy who asked me that wasn't asking just because he was curious. It's because he wanted to get on the under, and he probably did. Fair play to him if he wants to do that in play. But again, if I didn't watch that and I didn't code it, I wouldn't have even acknowledged the 44. I'd have just seen 27-17. I wouldn't have added the numbers up. I wouldn't have seen that there was a 10-point differential. I wouldn't have seen any of that. I would have just seen I would have just seen the 27, 17. Like any fan would have just seen. Any fan would have just seen. Oh wow, this has just hit me. Maybe it's begging a bit, but you know, Rodgers got his 73rd loss. The Titans became 7-3. Basically, they lost by 10 points, didn't they?
Yeah.
10 points is the touchdown and the extra point and a field goal. 7-3.
Correct.
Just they do little shit like that. Like
they torture the fans, and you gotta remember too. They were playing in Green Bay, just like they were playing in Philadelphia. They like torturing the home team. They
do. They do. And the home advantage and all of that it's nonsense. It's just the code.
The Titans were massive underdogs. They were in the beginning when they opened up the odds today. The Packers were supposed to win by -2,000, and the Packers were plus 170. I mean, the Titans were plus 170, and the Packers were -2,000. That's a huge.
Well, negative 200, not 2,000.
So you had to bet $200 to make 100, and if you would have bet 100, you make 170. So that's a huge gap. And I think what was the point spread? I don't know what the point spread was. I mean, how many points?
The spread probably would have been, I don't know, maybe like plus 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Spot at 4.5.
Oh my word! It was plus 4.5, bro.
Yeah, plus 4.5 for Titans.
Mate, Donald Trump was the 45th president.
I just caught that.
So the spread was plus 4.5. It was the 45th president. So the whole game was about him at the beginning. A lot of the times, I figure that out. If it would have been, if Trump would have done something like, you know, if he would have run for, like, let people know he was running for president today and not on the 15th. If he would have done it today, I would have easily caught the 4-7. But just know today is 11-17. And 1,117 is the 187th prime, and Society of Jesus equals 187.
Yeah. Now, what's once you get to know these, it takes practice. But once you keep doing it, you can tell who's going to win. I can tell who's going to win by halftime a lot of times, just because I see the games that they play, and I see. Not so much the numbers like you do, but I see the games. I see how they're toying with the fans. They like to toy with the fans. They like to mock the fans.
Well, it's energy. It's more getting the energy rather than mocking them. It's to take the energy. Yes. Satan needs energy. He feeds off that. He eats it. That's his.
But I think they get off on mocking the fans too, man. Like
I think there's an element of that, but the main thing is to harvest the energy. If that's through mockery, but. It's mainly to.
Dude, you have to understand. These people have there's technologies that exist right now that can kill us instantly. They choose not to kill us. They choose to toy with us before they kill us. They can kill us right now on the drop of a dime. I mean, if they want to.
Oh, have you heard? I can't really talk about this next thing. I wish I could, but. Yeah, they're talking now, and just let's be careful what we say here. They're talking now, which I said ages ago, that there's going to be this mandatory vaccine passport, and it's pretty much it's a genuine thing. It's not a conspiracy for people to travel.
They want to make us slaves. They're talking about a European.
It's the end times, mate. It's the end times, and we're going to be challenged. That's all it's about. We're going to be challenged with. Can we travel? Can we work? Can we get food? It's all there. If you read the book of Revelation, I was reading it today by the pool, actually.
The book of the Bible also says God makes a way out of no way.
I like that.
I'm not going to participate in any of that crap, dude.
Yeah, I know. Like I've said, I messaged my mate Andy today. I said it looks like I'm dying in Mexico. He said, "Yep, it looks like I am too." But we're all right with it.
The thing that really gave me pause is that the European Union is trying to push a digital currency. Okay, and in that digital currency, they're saying you can only hold $3,000.
Of course, it's $3. Of course, it's $3.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. They want to make us slaves. People need to wake up. They're trying to make you a slave. a slave. They want to make you, everybody, black, white, Mexican, Arab, Muslim, Christian, Catholic. They're trying to make us all their slaves. And they're very sneaky about it.
Can I?
They've never succeeded in the past. They're not going to succeed. They've never succeeded in the past. They're not going to succeed now. They're just not.
I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read Revelation 8:2 to 9:2:1, and then the 7 trumpets. This may take me a while. It's 22:22. Much love, Joseph. It's 22:22. Did you see that? I don't know why I just looked at the time, but it's 22:22, 10:22. Right.
Yeah,
I'm going to read out this biblical passage, and I want you all just to pay attention to this. I ain't going to be talking about sports when it comes to this, what I'm about to read to you. So please give me 5, maybe 10 minutes to read this, and hopefully you'll process it. I know you'll process it, Gabriel. So let me read this out to you. This is really deep now, guys. This is really deep. So again, I'm talking about Trump, so I've got to discuss the 7 trumpets. So again, by the way, you know, I was talking about Daniel's 70 weeks today. Today is 11/17/2022. You add up those numbers, I'm pretty sure you get 70 off the top of my head. So yeah, that is 70. 11/17/2022, top of my head, that's 70. So, and that's why the score started 7-0, like 70. So here we go. Then I saw the 7 angels who stand before God, and 7 trumpets were given to them. And another angel came and stood at the altar with a golden censer. Again, golden corona crown. And he was given much incense to offer with the prayers of all the saints on the golden altar before the throne. Remember, Jesus is the King of Kings. And the smoke of the incense with the prayers of the saints rose before God from the hand of the angel. Then the angel took the censer and filled it with fire from the altar and threw it on the earth. And there were pearls of thunder, rumblings, flashes of lightning, and an earthquake. So these natural disasters are coming, guys, and it's biblical. There's a lot more for me to read here. And I keep talking about fire. That's basically going to look like a meteorite. That's going to connect to the Antichrist. The 7 trumpets. Now the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared to blow them. Remember, Trump called out the mainstream media and called out a lot. Okay, the trumpet is really deep. Although I do believe Trump is working for Satan, not for us. I think he's a false prophet for sure.
He's definitely controlled opposition.
Yeah, deeper than that. Just he's working for Satan. The first angel blew his trumpet, and there followed hail and fire mixed with blood, and these were thrown upon the earth. And a third, which is 33.3%, and a third of the earth was burned up, and a third of the trees were burned up, and all green grass was burned up. So we're having these wildfires. Okay, we're having issues with agriculture right now. Okay, fires galore. This is biblical. This is biblical. And of course, when everything's getting burnt up, the trees and the agriculture and everything, that's where famine comes in, which is the 3rd horse in the 4 horsemen, is famine. Famine is no food. When you can't eat, you will die. The 2nd angel blew his trumpet, and something like a great mountain, burning with fire, was thrown into the sea. And the 3rd, we keep talking about these 3s, mate, and a 3rd of the sea became blood. A 3rd of the living creatures in the sea died, and a 3rd of the ships were destroyed. This is your 33.3%. And remember, Lucifer was cast out of heaven with 33.3% of the angels. The 3rd angel blew his trumpet, and a great star fell from heaven, blazing like a torch. Why do you think the Portland Trailblazers, guys, are top of their conference? Blazing like a torch, and it fell on a 3rd of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is wormwood. A third of the waters became wormwood, and many people died from the water because it had been made bitter. You get worms, don't you, Gabriel? When you have water, that is poisonous. Okay, and that connects to everything that I was talking about with Angel, who came into my live stream and guided me towards what's going on with the rivers in Africa right now, and how they're all becoming poisonous and you can't drink them, and people are dehydrating and dying. The fourth angel blew his trumpet, and a third of the sun was struck, and a third of the moon, and a third of the stars, so that a third of their light might be darkened. Lucifer, morning star, the light bearer, 33% of the angels got cast out of heaven, and a third of the day might be kept from shining, and likewise a third of the night. Why do you think they keep talking about a dark winter? It says here, a light might be darkened. Then I looked and I heard an eagle crying. Who's doing well in the NFL, Gabriel?
Eagles.
And I heard an eagle crying with a loud voice as it flew directly overhead. Woo, woo, woo. That's literally what it says. That's crazy. Woo, woo, woo. Oh my goodness. I always woo. It might be connected to this eagle. Wow. Woo, woo, woo to those who dwell on the earth. I tell you guys, be of the world. Don't be in love with it. Are you going to, and you dwell in here and you don't have faith in Jesus, you're going to go down, unfortunately, even if you're a good person. At the blasts of the other trumpets that the three angels are about to blow. Keep telling you there's going to be an explosion at the World Cup. Something's going to blow. All right. And the fifth angel blew his trumpet. And I saw a star fallen from heaven to earth. And he was given the key to the shaft of the bottomless pit. Who do you think that is, guys? He opened the shaft of the bottomless pit. And from the shaft rose smoke like the smoke of a great furnace. It's a lake of fire. And the sun and the air were darkened with the smoke from the shaft. Then from the smoke came locusts on the earth, and they were given power like the power of scorpions of the earth. They were told not to harm the grass of the earth or any green plant or any tree, but only those people who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. They were allowed to torment them for 5 months. I've been raving on about 5 recently. Ronaldo's going to play in his 5th World Cup. Messi is going to play in his 5th World Cup. And I think I've figured out what the 5 is. It connects to Roman numerals. I tell you, X is 10 in numerals. X. All right? X is 10. Well, 5 is V.
Yeah.
And have you noticed that a lot of these celebrities do this? They do the V or this sign, the peace sign. That's the V. That's the 5. That's connected to the pentagram. I've figured out. 5-sided shape. The pentagram is Satanism.
Yeah, they all do that. They all do the
yeah, exactly.
It's called the peace sign.
Yeah, so they say it's the peace sign, but it's actually the number 5. And if you look into Aleister Crowley, he writes something about the 5 principles, and he was a Satanist. Yeah. So I'm getting closer to what that 5 is. So if we go back to what I'm reading here with the 5th angel, it's all connected to the bottomless pit. All right. And it says here, they were allowed to torment them for 5 months, but not to kill them. And their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it stings someone. So you know that feeling when you get stung, don't you? Whether by a scorpion, by a bee, whatever it may be, it's that torment, it's that frustration, it's the anger, but it eventually goes. More often than not, it's not going to kill you. And in those days, people will seek death and will not find it. They will long to die, but death will flee from them.
Yeah, it's because that's what they want to do. If they wanted to kill us, they would kill us. They don't.
That's what people need to get in their head. If it was man doing this and they had all these nuclear weapons and they just wanted to take us out because they're greedy and they hate us, Why are we still here?
Because they want to torment us for our energy, bro. They want to torment us for our energy.
There's that element, but they don't have as much power as people think they have. Simple as that. This is biblical. They can't change scripture.
You know, in my opinion, the reason I hate Christians so much is, and they hate Christians. Christians, they don't hate Muslims.
They hate Christians. They hate Jesus. And Jesus is the most spoke of character in the Quran, which people don't understand.
Well, because he existed. I mean, he's real.
People hate Jesus. They hate Jesus with a passion.
Exactly. They do. Now, why is that? So it goes back to common sense. If they are pushing a certain agenda, or they hate somebody, or they love somebody, it's usually the opposite. It's inverted. So
yeah, well, because that's what they do. Satan does everything in reverse, and he infiltrates everything that's pure. But you always taught me this, mate, and I'm trying to get better at it. But you've always taught me this: do not correct a fool, or he will hate you. Correct a wise man, and he will appreciate you. You've always told me that.
Correct a wise man, I'll love you.
Yeah, I'll love you. Exactly. But when you try and guide people, if they don't want to be guided and they start looking at you like, wait, you're disrespecting me. Who do you think you are? What you talking about? Like the guy I told you in that bar when I was with his I went with his girlfriend, called me a genius. And then I told him I believed in Jesus. And he said I was insane and that I'm miserable and I'm unhappy with my life. I was like, what just, how did I go from being a genius and a cool guy to suddenly I hate myself and I'm a psychopath and a lunatic? But let me finish this off. I'm almost done with it because this is deep. In the appearance, the locusts were like horses prepared for battle. Remember the 4 horsemen? On their heads were what looked like crowns of gold, mate. Their faces were like human faces. Their hair like woman's hair. And their teeth like lion's teeth. They had breastplates like breastplates of iron. And the noise of their wings was like the noise of many chariots with horses rushing into battle. England have this whole song like, sweet love, sweet chariot. They always sing it when there's a rugby game. They have tails and stings like scorpions, and their power to hurt people for 5 months is in their tails. They have as king over them the angel of the bottomless pit. His name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek he is called Apollyon. Now check this out. It was Apollo that supposedly went to the moon, wasn't it? Apollo 11.
Correct. Yeah.
This angel of the bottomless pit, his name in Greek is Apollyon. You don't think Apollyon? It's got nothing to do with Apollo 11?
Are you serious?
That's what I mean. This is how deep it is. The first woe has passed. Behold, 2 woes are still to come. What's 2 plus 1? 3. Then the 6th angel blew his trumpet. Remember, Donald Trump was born in the 6th month, born in June. And I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar before God. See how it's the 6th angel and the 4 horns, and coronavirus was declared a global pandemic on 3/11. And Revelation 3:11 is all about, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Well, the 6 and the 4, 311 is the 64th prime number. And you have the 6th angel blowing his trumpet and heard a voice from the 4 horns, 6-4, of the golden altar before God. It's why Wales have qualified for the World Cup for the first time in 64 years. And their flag is that of a dragon, which is Satan. Saying to the 6th angel who had the trumpet, release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river, Euphrates. I just did a code, didn't I, about Euphrates. This is a real thing, okay? What's going on in Iraq? So this river, guys, it's said to have watered the biblical Garden of Eden and helped give birth to civilization itself. But this river now, the Tigris, is dying. It says here, human activity and climate change have choked its once mighty flow through Iraq, where with its twin river, the Euphrates, the twin, I keep saying this, I think Jesus had a twin. You had the Twin Towers come down on 9/11. That's when I think Jesus was born. You had George Floyd die in the Twin City. You had Ronaldo's twin die. You had Elvis, the king. His twin died the day Elvis was born. There's all this twin symbolism. It made Mesopotamia a cradle of civilization thousands of years ago. And again, you've got Revelation 3:11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. 3:11, the 64th prime. And we have the sixth angel, which had the trumpet. Okay, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. That river right now is getting destroyed. Okay, there's a drought because of decades of war, because there've been war for decades in Iraq, which goes back all the way to when? 9/11. And you've got Revelation 9:18. By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. And in this article, it said, and the International Organization for Migration said last month that climate factors had displaced more than 3,300 families in Iraq's central and southern areas in the first 3 months of the year. 333, 33.3%, which is a third. All right, this is happening right now. If this is not revelation, I don't think you're paying attention to what I'm saying. So it says, release the four angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates. I was just discussing that. It's in Iraq. So the four angels who had been prepared for the hour, the day, the month, and the year were released to kill a third of mankind. A third. 33.3%. The number of mounted troops was twice 10,000 times 10,000. I heard their number. And this is how I saw the horses in my vision. These four angels, Gabriel, is the four horsemen. That's why it's saying, and this is how I saw the horses in my vision, and those who rode them. They wore breastplates, the color of fire and of sapphire and of sulfur, and the heads of the horses were like lions' heads. All right? Lions' heads. And fire and smoke and sulfur came out of their mouths. By these three plagues, a third of mankind was killed by the fire and smoke and sulfur coming out of their mouths. For the power of the horses is in their mouths and in their tails. For their tails are like serpents with heads, and by means of them they wound. The World Health Organization, okay, in their logo is a serpent. Kobe Bryant was the Black Mamba, which is a serpent. The Pope carries around that stick, which is of a serpent. The Vatican is designed like a snake when you go inside of it. And the snake's the devil. And it was the snake who tempted Adam and Eve to basically go against God. The rest of mankind who were not killed by these plagues did not repent of the works of their hands, nor give up worshipping demons and idols of gold and silver and bronze and stone and wood, which cannot see or hear or walk, nor did they repent of their murders or their sorceries or their sexual immorality, of their thefts. So Jesus is going to give everyone the opportunity to repent, but not everybody's going to. They're not going to repent.
You have free will, so you can do what you want, man.
Yeah, but then I'll just finish this off. Then the seventh angel blew his trumpet. I keep raving on about 7. It's why I tell everyone Brady's not coming off 7 Super Bowl rings. He's not.
No.
And there will, when you learn about this, the 7th trumpet, the 7 golden candlesticks, God made the world in 7 days. Well, he rested on the 7th day. There's so much, 7 colors in a rainbow, all these rainbow themes. There's just so much with 7. That's why Revelation gets you 49 and Antichrist 49, which is 7 times 7. That's why Brady was born in 77. That's why Flight 77 is what hit the World Trade Center 77 minutes after taking off. Like, it's why Boris Johnson was the 77th Prime Minister and resigned on 7/7. Why England got to the Euro 2020 final on 7/7. And then the final was on 11-7, and 11 times 7, 77. It's pretty scandalous, to be honest. Then the seventh angel blew his trumpet, and there were loud voices in heaven saying, "The kingdom of the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever." Woo! And the 24 elders, remember, Queen Elizabeth died 8-9, the 24th prime, and the 24 elders, Kobe Bryant's jersey number, who sit on their thrones before God, fell on their faces and worship God. 17, saying, "We give thanks to you, Lord God Almighty, who is and who was, for you have taken your great power and begun to reign." So again, how long did Queen Elizabeth reign for? 70 years. Guys, you've got to study Daniel's 70 weeks. All right? The nations raged, but your wrath came. And on the time for the dead to be judged, and for rewarding your servants, the prophets and saints, and those who fear your name, both small and great, and for destroying the destroyers of the earth. Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and the ark of his covenant was seen within his temple. There were flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and heavy hail. Okay? This is all about Revelation. I've just read to you the 7 trumpets. Okay? Remember, Prince Philip died 4-9. 7 times 7 is 49. He died the 911th. No, he died the 99th day of the year at age 99. And 9 times 11 is 99. Queen Elizabeth died 911 days after 3:11. 3:11 p.m. is the 911th minute of the day. Revelation 9:11 is all about the king of the bottomless pit. 3:11 is all about don't let anybody take your crown. I'm coming back soon. That's Jesus. So the reality is this. I'm coding these sports and all of this stuff not to win you a bit of money. That won't mean anything soon. It won't mean anything soon. In my opinion, that's me speaking, giving my opinion, expressing myself, my opinion. Enjoy your money now whilst you have it. Make your money whilst you can. No doubt about it. I ain't gonna act like I don't care about it, because we have to somewhat care about it. But again, I don't want to make too much and get used to a certain lifestyle and then it's all gone. That's why I live. I could be making 30 grand a month now. I would still be living the same life where I go for an omelette in the morning. I have my swim. I'll still work my ass off. And I won't be going big time with this money if I got rich from doing what I'm doing, which I never will. And again, I'd rather be rich in my faith in God than rich within gold and silver and money and crypto. My spirit's rich. Okay? There's so many people who are filthy rich, but spiritually, they're in debt. They're bankrupt. So this point, we have to question what we really want. If this is the end times, how do you want to go out? How do you want to go out? You're going to go out with a bang? This isn't a game now. This is not a game. You have to start taking this seriously, in my opinion. If you want, you can just dismiss it. It's the easiest thing to dismiss it. But if you look at Revelation 13 through 15, 17, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right? When the beast is reigning, if he's not already reigning, he wants to take out those who are not going to worship his image. But that's where you've not got to be afraid. Okay, because there is going to be a kingdom of God. And I know a lot of you in the chat probably don't believe in God or Revelation. You don't want to hear this. You want me to talk about a sports game tomorrow, don't you? A lot of you, unfortunately. But I'll only do that now for me if it connects to me figuring out where the world's going. Okay? And it's a crying shame. I told you, if I just talked about professional sports, Gabriel, I think I would have about 50,000 subs on YouTube. If I was talking about sports and not saying they're corrupt, like if I did a whole thing now with my knowledge of football and the World Cup, I would get tens of thousands of people probably listen to me. You know what I mean? If I like did a review, I was like, okay, here's the 5 teams that could win the World Cup, and here's why. And I played along with it, like, well, you have Brazil, and historically they've done great in World Cups, and la di da di da di da di da. People would pay more attention to that. When I talk about revelation, that most people don't care, do they? They don't understand it. They can't really profit from it right now. People want to profit right now from everything. We're living in that generation, though, aren't we, bro? Everything's instant.
Well, yeah.
Instant gratification.
The thing with me, like personally, like I know that I don't worry about that stuff because whatever's been, number one, God is in control.
Yeah.
Number two, because I am a Christian and I've seen God do many things, so like I'm not really scared of Revelations, bro. I'm not scared of Revelations. I'm not scared of the Antichrist. I'm not scared of any of that. None of it, because I've just seen God do things when I've seen him do the impossible so many times. Where what is the difference of Revelations and da 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 and all that doesn't scare me.
I just go one day at a time. Personally, for me, I go one day at a time, and the biggest thing I can say to you is that I'm not afraid of dying. So when I read all of this stuff, it doesn't do anything to me.
Me neither, brother. I don't worry about it. You're not supposed to be scared. See, the thing is, I learned to not give my enemy what he wants or she wants. And your enemy wants you to be scared, wants you to be like, oh, there's no hope, and that's bullshit. There's always hope. There's always a way, man. God says I make a way out of no way. So it's just how it is. I know that I'm going to be provided for no matter what. And if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I'm not scared of anything. I've seen God move so many times where.
Well, I've seen it recently, yeah. But like any time, did you see my live when I talked about 42 and 33 and what happened to me? Did I tell you it?
If I'm working, I don't.
Probably not. I know you work your ass off and all of that, but
I'm pretty sure you have, man.
I was driving to work, and I had this moment with myself. I was like, I'm so connected to 33 and 42, and I connect 33 with Jesus. So he died 33 AD and all the other 33s. And
that's very lazy.
Yeah, and I connect 42 with the beast, because the beast reigns for 42 months. And I have all these 33s and 42s in my life because I've coded my life so much. I could do a whole video about the numbers with my life and the organic syncs. And I was thinking to myself, just what am I more connected to, 33 or 42? I hope it's 33 because I connect that with Jesus. I really hope that number is the number connected to me. That's when I had my awakening at age 33. I was born on 33 and 42 dating emoji, mate. So I've just got all these crazy syncs with those two numbers. And I was driving and I went up to a bus. It was slightly in front of me, and I was just driving, put my foot down, I had to get to work. The number of the bus was 33, like about 5 or 6 seconds after I was asking myself, am I more connected to 33 or 42? I was like, are God and Satan both coming for me? Do they both want to use me? I guess maybe it is a battle of the spirit. It is for all of us. But I saw the 33, mate, and I messaged Red Pill Monkey because he was born 3 years, 330 months before me. And I said, do you ever have anything like that? He said, every time I need like guidance, Jesus always provides me with the 33. He always reveals the 33 to me. I was like, wow.
Yeah. That's what's happening to me too. That's what's happening with the 3. Actually, not 33, like 333, those 3s.
Yeah, it's that 33.3%. That's what the 333 is.
1, like the Holy Spirit, the Father, and the Son.
Yeah, the Holy Trinity is the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, but it's as an aside note, it's the same thing. It's like water, ice, steam. It's all H2O. So So it's all God. It's just because God cannot function on this world in the third dimension as a he has to function as a man. We're in the third dimension.
Yeah, well, that's how I completely see it as well. But
it is. I know it's a rub with people, like they don't understand what that means. It's just a difference. There's different dimensions, and the third dimension operates as a third. In this dimension, third dimensional creatures run the show. All the other dimensional creatures can only influence our decisions. They cannot do anything with.
That's exactly what it is. There's influence in your decision, then making the decision for you. You have the ultimate free will, but you will have people influence you.
Yep. Well, here's the thing: we're in the third dimension is where we operate out of, because it's us. We run the show. No fourth dimensional being, fifth dimensional beings, whatever, they cannot do anything in this dimension. They have to go through one of us to get things done in this dimension, and that's why they try to stress us out, make us live in fear. They try to inspire us to be bad, depressed, sad,
and to constantly compete with each other as well.
Well, that's also part of like a human DNA, because if we didn't compete with each other, we wouldn't make any progress in society.
Yeah, but there is an element of competing with somebody, but then actual like hatred for the other person.
That's a different situation. You're not supposed to hate, because hate is negative.
Oh yeah, competing's healthy. Like.
Competing is necessary for the societal growth.
No, yeah, I agree with that, but it's like it's the genuine hatred and all of that for the people. Like, think about Democrats and Republicans. How many of them genuinely hate each other? It's not like a disagreement. They'll hate one another.
Well, if you watch the news 24/7, like I lean more Republican. I lean more conservative.
Yeah, I won't touch any of it, to be honest.
I've learned that it's divide and conquer. It's the oldest trick in the book. It still works. It's divide and conquer, the left against the right, and that's what, like in America, they're trying to cause a civil war. They're trying to get us to get violent.
Yeah, they've been trying that. They've been trying that since 2020. But when you're going left or right, you're never going forward.
Well, here's the thing. My favorite saying is I always give my enemy the opposite of what he wants. So I'll never get violent because I know that's what they want. They want you to get violent because they have a plan for that.
They want you angry. They just want you angry. But again, because it all comes down to the energy.
You got to give your enemy the opposite of what they want. So if they tell you to go forward, you got to go backwards. If they tell you to go backwards, you got to go forward. If they tell you to go up, you got to go down.
Pretty much.
Because that's what it does. He inverts everything.
But since I figured that out, my life, like I said, I already had a really good life. But since I started going against the majority or going against the mainstream, I'm absolutely flying.
Yeah, it's a good rule of thumb because in the United States, it's left against right and Republicans against Democrats. It's all manufactured. It's all bullshit.
And they control both sides, don't they? They control both sides.
It's exactly right. They control both sides. And right now and right now there's no excuse because everybody's got their damn Google on their phone. So you can Google something. The one thing that they really don't want you to know, what they really bury is natural law. The 7 Hermetic principles.
There's another 7. I did a video about it, but there's another 7.
You really got to take time. And it's on YouTube for free. It's the 7 Hermetic principles, and you really got to take time to understand that because that's the underpinnings of reality, of our reality in this dimension. And that stuff it's old, and they don't want you to understand how it works. But once you understand how truly powerful you are in Christ, how truly powerful you are in this dimension, that you are a God. The Bible says we are little gods. Once you understand that you are a God, a literal God, and you truly understand what free will means, you're a God and you have free will. So that you have the power to create your reality.
Yeah.
And once you understand that, it's a game changer. Once you truly understand the truth of how things really work, you don't care about nothing because you know that you can. And that's the reason I do the gambling, because the gambling for me is like I'm in the dojo. Okay, I'm trying to learn how to vibe things out and it sounds stupid, but I do it. I can tell. And it's good because I'm starting to learn how to become more in tune with my spiritual side, which is what they want to kill. That's why in the States they put fluoride in the water. They poison the food. They're trying to kill your pineal gland. They're trying to kill the spiritual side.
Oh yeah, your third eye. Somebody's just left Somebody's just left an amazing comment here. Big Ugly Duck. Funny name.
What does he say?
No, it's good. No, it's a positive comment. Said negative energy. Negative energy creates a worldwide tornado of negativity. When we need positive community more than ever, take our weapons for the final fight for our souls. So stock up on faith and positivity. That is why Biden said we're coming for America's soul.
Facts. No, that's a big ugly duck. He's facts.
Yeah. Like he's talking about the armor of God, the armor of faith. Like that's a real thing. Like you don't go into a war without armor, do you?
No, but you have to understand. You have to understand how powerful you are, and it's hard because you're told your whole life. First of all, I believe in epigenetics. I mean, that's also a scientific. You have all this negative energy from your ancestors that are brought forward into your spiritual being, but there's ways to crack it because the Bible says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." So you got to reprogram your mind, and you do that through the renewing of your mind.
Well, there's your conscious mind, and then there's your subconscious. They control your subconscious. Your conscious mind, you don't often get access to it.
You can reprogram it to do whatever the hell you want. You can reprogram your mind to do whatever the hell you want. You have to want to. I quit smoking, which was a beast for me to quit. I used to do a lot of drugs. I quit doing drugs. I can't even drink. I drink like 1 or 2 beers max, and I'm done.
No, the power of the mind is crucial. It truly is. But you have to be aware of that.
Yeah, but you have to be aware of it. You have to take action. You have to take action, and the action. There's again to the Hermetic principles, male and female.
Yeah, that's a gender's one of the. Isn't that the 6? Is that the 6?
In regards of how to empower yourself to make that change. The masculine part of your mind is the action part. The emotional part of your mind is how you reprogram. So it's a seed. So you give birth, right? So your emotions give birth to new habits or new subconscious habits.
It's like your thoughts. Your thoughts dictate your reality.
You have to always be on top of what you think, man. You can't think nothing negative. And it takes practice. And I'm speaking from experience, and I'm still not perfect.
None of us ever will be. None of us are ever going to be perfect.
So
ever.
The thing is, I know the world's coming. Like I don't even watch the news anymore because it's always the same crap. I already know we're headed.
Well, how many end of the world movies have we had, like Armageddon? How many movies have we had about deadly pandemics recently? How many movies about zombie apocalypses? Like it's all there telling us where the world's going. Like, whether it's God or Satan or whoever's doing it, they're just saying, "Hey, this is where the world's gonna go. Pay attention."
These people that make these TV shows and they make these movies, they know what they're doing. They do it on purpose.
I think the people doing it are being used by the supernatural for me, or by God, Satan.
I think they're on the right. Hollywood makes me sick. All these actors are scum.
Yeah, they've just given themselves to Satan. But you've got to know this though. This is where I feel a bit. Oh, they just froze me then. This is where I feel a bit harsh on some of them. If you look at Satanism, especially in Hollywood, it's generational. That's why a lot of them who have famous parents come through and become famous. And people say it's because, well, they've got the contacts or they've got the genetics, the talent from their family or whatever. But they're coming into this world. They're working for Satan. They're Satan's children. He's using them. And from a young age, they get exploited. They get abused. They get put through MK Ultra. They get put through like Disney shows. And then they go through the whole thing about being inverted. They're the opposite sex because of the Baphomet. And then they have kids. And they're going to go through it. So it's just like the royal family, mate. All of them are like inbreded. Charles admitted that, well, we are inbred in the royal family. So they all keep it within them. They go through the same programming. So they go through the same satanic rituals. And those are the people running the show, but they're being used by Satan because this is his realm. So that's how I see it. People like myself and you, we're on Team Jesus, but where it's like us going into Istanbul in an away game and there's like fireworks going off and hostility, and it's like a dangerous game to play.
The weapons that we have, if we understand the weapons that we have, our weapons are far, vast more powerful than their weapons are.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because if you're wearing the armor of God, all right, then you're all good. Like nothing beats that, because God is the ruler of all. Satan is running this realm, but God is the ruler of all. God is the creator. Satan's a creation of the creator. That is why Lucifer or Satan or the devil or whatever you want to call them, whatever religion you believe in, all right, he's limited. They're limited. God is the rule of all, and there's nothing.
You know what Satan's power is? To try to convince us to screw ourselves over.
Yes, Satan will try and take you down with him because he knows he's already lost. So, like I said, God.
Once you understand his weapons, and once you understand how to see through him, he can't do anything. Like as a kid, I was demonically attacked a lot as a child. Now, if I have a bad feeling or a bad thought, I know what it is through repetition, through practice, through exercising it. I get rid of it.
What happens? What happens when you shine light on a vampire?
It runs, man. It runs. It has to run. It doesn't have a choice.
Exactly.
They're weaker. They are, but they're weaker than they are. But we have to understand that we are a billion times more powerful than they are. But their trick is to make us think that we're weak and that we're not as strong as they are. We are a million times strong. But it takes practice. You have to condition yourself into
and awareness, and that's why they say knowledge is power, because that comes with awareness, which can create wisdom.
Everybody listening to this live to go and right now inside of Google, inside of YouTube even, and find the 7 Hermetic principles. It's about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and
watch my break, mate. I've got a 30-minute video which I summarized it perfectly. Watch that.
Do all and understand this, because that's what they really don't want you to understand. And it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. It's under Proverbs. In the 7 pillars of wisdom. I believe it's in Proverbs.
Can I read this to you, because this is really important to me. This is how I'm feeling right now with God. So I always say that Satan infiltrates everything that's pure, but he can't change scripture. Like his fate's written, he's lost. He's gone to the lake of fire. All right, he's already lost. He can take people down with him, but he can't change his fate. His fate's been predestined. It's done for him. So I'm going to read this now, and then I'll let you go back to what you were saying. I'm going to have to go soon. I can feel myself like getting tired, but I've got the Holy Spirit in me, so I'll try to keep going. So listen to this. Tell me if you agree with this. God is the ruler of all, and there is nothing that can stand against him. His will is irresistible. All right? No one can reverse what God puts into action or thwart his plans. Nobody. And at times where you feel like, if God really exists, why hasn't he killed the devil? Why is he allowing famine? Why is he allowing this? Why is he allowing that? Because it's written in the book. It's written in the book. It's already been written that this is going to happen. So why are we shocked that it's happening? But then, do you have faith in the new kingdom of God? If you don't, and you're still in love with this world, then you're gonna hate God, aren't you? Anytime something really bad happens in your life, you're gonna think, why would God do this to me or the world? But when you study scripture, you realize that this is the way it's supposed to be. You learn about Daniel's prophecy of 70 weeks. You learn about Daniel's vision of the ram, the goat, and the small horn. You learn about Revelation 13:18. All right? You realize that the 7th day of the week it's a blessing. It's when God rested. And what do most people do on the 7th day of the week in America, who are pretty much anyone? They watch the NFL, don't they?
Yeah.
They watch the NFL, or they watch Super Sunday, or they're miserable, aren't they? They're miserable because they've got to go to work on Monday.
Most people are miserable.
And what day do most of them love? The 6th day. which is Saturday.
Yeah.
The 6th, that's so heavily connected to Satan. Most people's favorite day of the week, if you ask them, if you go ask anyone now, the favorite day of the week, say the majority are going to tell you it's Saturday. It's Saturday. And why? Because they can get pissed, or they can go.
Well, it goes back to like when you see these little kids at the soccer game, they're getting brainwashed into becoming soccer fans, man.
Yeah.
Football. It's funny how in America it's called football, and the rest of the world is called football.
No, I know, because it's deep. It's the ball they need to put in, because it's Baal, and Baal is the god of 66 demons.
Once you see the magic trick, you can't unsee the magic trick.
It's sorcery, mate. It's sorcery. Like all these pro sports, it's magical arts is what they are. It's magical arts. They say it's performing arts. It's magic.
Bro, that's why once you understand how it works, you can't unsee it. You can't understand how it works.
Because what it is in this world, we have our two eyes, right? Where we can technically see what's. I'm looking now. I can see my fridge, my oven, my microwave. I can see my kettle, my bottle of water. However, I can't physically see. Well, I can't physically see the unseen world of Satan and his demons. I can't physically see that. I can spiritually feel that. I can feel that I'm being attacked. I couldn't feel anybody physically strangling me when I was struggling for breath. I couldn't feel somebody's hand there. I was like, what's that? I could feel the attack spiritually, but I couldn't see it. And most people in this world, they're spiritually blind. They're not physically blind. They're like, what you on about? I'm blind. That's why I say spiritually blind. I don't call people blind anymore. You're so blind.
Most people do drugs and drink alcohol. Why do you think they do that? Because they're empty, bro.
And they're putting spirits in the body. That's why alcohol spirits. And then it changes who they are. And it often makes people sad.
I used to drink so much, and I can't even stand it now, bro.
But my friend Andy, oh my goodness, this is crazy. You know the guy I'm covering? Oh, by the way, someone's asking who's in the live. Kathy, this is Gabriel, who set up the website with me. And he's literally called Gabriel, like the archangel. And we were just chatting, because we chat, I don't know, a couple of times a week, not just about the website. We're always trying to make the website better, always. But we also have regular chats. Like we're not just consumed with the website. Like, so.
Honestly, I am a little bit. I'm a perfectionist, bro.
You are, but yeah, and that's the thing. Being a perfectionist in this realm, when you're never going to be perfect, can be a positive and a negative.
It could be more of a negative. And for me, it's been more of a negative, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think in general it is. When you're aiming for perfection constantly, then you're never going to truly be happy, because you're never going to achieve it.
Do it right. Don't have. Once you take on a responsibility, you better take it serious.
But my mindset is not perfection. My mindset is to do things at the best of my ability if I'm passionate about them. And if that's how it is. I don't want to be like. When I do sports codes, I'm not aiming to be 100% at the end of the month. I'm not naive enough to know that. I know I'm not supposed to be. I'm going to be. However good I get at this, and I like going through adversity and failure, and I always will do. But going back, I'm covering for my friend, my best friend out here.
Yeah.
This has just hit me now how insane this is. I told you I'm so connected. I'm saying this now after 1 hour and 38, and 13 times 8 is 144, which is my birthday. I'm getting a bit of tension in my shoulder. But my best friend out here who's getting married, I picked the date. He asked me to pick the date because he knows how I am with numbers. He's getting married November the 22nd, 22, which is the anniversary of JFK's death. But 11's, the 22s and all of that. And he was born on 4/4. 10 days. His birthday's 10 days before me, okay, which is 4/14. And he was born 4/4. His birthday's 10 days before me. This NFL game had 44 points, and the Packers lost by 10. And it's just everything that goes on in my life seems to just be synced up to what goes on in the games that I code as well. It's not me searching for it. It's just crazy, mate, that my best friend in Mexico was born 4/4 and my beautiful, amazing ex-wife was born 4/24. So my best friend here was born 10 days before me. Well, not born. His birth is 10 days before me. And my ex-wife's birth is 10 days after mine.
Wow. I mean, it's all, you know, the Torah, you know, you ever heard of the Bible code? It's in the Torah.
Yeah.
It's scientifically proven. It's not like woo BS. And the Torah will never change. They always talk about the Quran never changed. The Torah has never ever changed.
Well, the Torah, that gematria is Jewish mysticism, isn't it?
Well, the Torah does the same thing. I'm all about learning stuff. I always try to learn stuff because I can't watch movies anymore. So I can't. They just drive me up the wall. I want to sometimes, but
it's same with sports, isn't it? You're probably part of you that wants to watch them, but it just drives you insane. It's like, why would I put myself through that frustration?
Well, here's the thing. Even now, more so because a lot of times, you know, lately I know the ending of it, and I knew the ending of. I'm talking like halftime. Halftime, I knew the ending of the Panthers. My buddy's like, "How do you know?" I said, "They're gonna win." I can already tell. He goes, "How?" I just know. And then the same thing is like also with the Vikings, and also with the Eagles game, and with this game too. So it's like this with sports is like it's boring. You know what I mean? And then the predictive programming and all the TV shows drive me up the wall. They're trying to push homosexuality. They're trying to push, you know, fear. They're trying to push alcoholism. Once you understand what these people do. If
you just watch the 30-minute episode of a soap opera in England, whether it's Coronation Street, EastEnders, Emmerdale, Hollyoaks, all right, they might change like the storylines here, there, and everywhere, but you'll see that the cast, you'll see that all the casts are built up with the same theme. Like you said, there'll be maybe now 10-15% of them are gay or trans or bi. And then suddenly now in these soaps, it seems like, and this is no way being racist here, but it seems that African Americans can act now because they're on every commercial in England. When I was in England, there was TVs in every room. Every commercial was a black person or an Indian. So I don't know if they've been taking like acting classes, but it's just the way it is. Like, what you see on your screen basically is how people see the world. Like, but they're seeing it on the screen, then it's being reflected into the world, not the other way around. I know what they do. I can't watch it.
I can't watch TV shows. I can't. So I watch other things, which I get. But to your point, to touch on, I think they're scared of black people because if you study Egypt, it was called Kem, K-E-M. There was a lot of black people in Egypt. So I think they're scared of blacks. I think
well, they're for me, like, honestly, like the ultimate race. Like they're the most athletic. Like they do. They've hammered throughout history. They've hammered African Americans or Africans. They hammered the continent of Africa. They fear it, don't they?
Yes, they do, because I think it goes back to Egypt, because Egypt was Kem. Kem means black because the people were black in Egypt. Egypt, because that's one thing I'm interested in, because I can't watch TV shows, so I watch history, and I'm trying to figure this out, and so and I think they're scared of black people because a black person I think they have a lot of talent and gifts from God. So what they try to do is they try to suppress it
and make them feel powerless.
And they're not. I think it's the complete opposite.
Yeah. No, I do. Again, I do. I do. I come.
Kiss black people. I'm just talking. I'm a realist, bro. I'm about reality. And why do anything that's like they attack Christians hard and heavy? They got a sweet tooth.
Oh, if like I always say this, I've said this for 2 years, that if they're giving somebody an MBE, OBE, a knighthood, and promoting them in the media and bigging them up, and they have millions and millions of YouTube followers, it's like they're clearly Satanists, or they wouldn't be getting promoted by the mainstream. They wouldn't be. It's as simple as that. Like, people are saying now, Kyrie Irving, Kanye, these type of people, that they're actually calling out the mainstream and Donald Trump. It's like they're allowed to be doing that. They're playing their role. Like it's the world stage for them. They're allowed to do it.
Here's the thing, like, people don't understand. There's different kinds of Jews. There's Orthodox Jews, there's regular Jews, there's Zionist Jews, and they all pretty much hate each other's guts.
Yeah, but you can't talk about. Have you noticed you can't talk? We've got to be really careful here. You can't talk about the Jews. They don't let you.
There's different kinds of Muslims. There's Sunnis, and I'm only aware of two of them. There's probably more. There's Sunnis and there's Shiites. They hate each other's guts. The Christians are not just Christians. There's Christians.
There's the Protestants and Catholics don't like each other.
Yeah, but they all hate each other. Look at the stuff that happened in England and Israel, in Ireland.
I watch some because I'll be honest with you. I think I've told you this before. The only thing I watch is Family Guy on YouTube every now and again, maybe 30 minutes a week. I know it's controversial, and I know it does belittle Jesus sometimes, but they had a little sketch. So there was 3 people from different like ethnicities and backgrounds and all of that. And this was before like religion. You know, now there's so many religions. Like you could even call Scientology a religion at this point. There's so many different religions. And then they're all getting along with each other. And then they had this like little dig at Jesus, and then they all started stabbing each other, basically saying religion has led to a lot of death. And it has, hasn't it? Religion has been the catalyst. Religion, not necessarily people's faith in Jesus Christ, but religion has been one of the biggest divide tools in the world that's led to a lot of wars. Religion, yeah, which is Satan.
They want to keep us as bifurcated, as separate as they possibly can on every single level, because they're scared shitless that once we get together, they have no power now. That's why they bifurcate. They want us all hating each other.
The more labels, the more divide. Simple as that. That's why they keep creating more labels, more genders, more sexualities, because it's more divide, more sports teams.
They want to keep us very homogeneous. They want to keep us very separate, angry at each other, one at each other's throats. That's what they want. So you got to give them the opposite.
Again, universe. The prefix uni means one. You got Neo from the Matrix, which is an anagram of one. We are one, and it's hard to accept when people are so selfish, that they're egotistical. And I've said that when they're so self-centered, they're so focused on themselves rather than Jesus and how we're all connected.
Well, I said this before, and I'll say it again. I look at people. This is going to sound bad, but it helps me not hate anybody.
No, you can speak your truth.
Yeah, I look at a lot of people like children. I don't look at them like adults, because there are some people. You could be a 90-year-old man and have the brain of an 8-year-old. You could be an 8-year-old with the man of a 9. So I look at everybody. I get angry with people. I'm like, you're so stupid. I start judging. I'll start talking crazy to people. It's easier for me to love people when I look at them like children, because in that way I don't judge them. That way I'm more like I'm doing what God wants me to do.
No, yeah, that's fair, because
like I love myself.
when you,
that's horrible, but I'm just being honest.
No, it's not horrible. When you're doing all you can to try and help people and they're just not having it, you get angry. But then again, like if you was trying to explain this to a 5-year-old, you wouldn't get angry at a 5-year-old. So yeah,
the Bible says be like a child. The Bible says be like a child.
I always say never to lose your inner child as well. Somebody's saying here, the wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. Proverbs 28:1.
That's true. If you look at these demon crats, I call them demon rats. I don't call them demon crats. These demon rats, they're scared of the rain shadow, man. If you watch them, they're scared, dude. They have such a miserable existence, man. They are just miserable, bro. Like these people in power, like Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, they look like scary little children, dude. They don't look.
No, they're just possessed.
Nah, I think they could be possessed. I do believe that's possible, but I know that they're scared. They're scared of their own shadow, man.
Well, you look in the eyes of a Zuckerberg. You look in his eyes, and he's got no soul. His eyes are soulless.
We're saying the same thing. He's shells. He's and all these people, man, they're just shells. Even if you look at Elon Musk, he's just doing. I don't have no faith in him. He's too. To your point, if it's mainstream and it's popular, it's probably.
If anybody has
it's probably not good.
If anybody has a blue tick on Twitter, stay away from them.
Pretty much.
Any person who has a blue tick, you stay away from them. Do not follow them. Do not be taken in by their bullshit.
Pretty much, yeah. Or it's a distraction.
Anyone you see on the TV, I'm not talking about like the odd little interview for 1 minute on Calendar. Like I'm talking about day in, day out on TV, high profiled, on getting interviewed by the BBC or CNN and all of this, and they have a major social media following. They are false prophets, and they want to take you down the wrong road.
An excellent rule of thumb is anything mainstream is probably bad for you. Like I used to follow Alex Jones hardcore because he did show me a lot of truth, but he's a plant. And the reason I say Alex Jones is a plant is because if you watch him like I did, it just makes you feel so demoralized. Like, oh, there's no hope. We're doomed. Oh, we're all gonna die.
Well, he shouted, didn't he? He would shout every time he spoke, and people would mistake that for passion. But he's doing it. He's doing it to bring your frequencies down.
I'll be honest with you. He taught me a lot. He showed me a lot, and I have a lot. But I think he's a plant. The reason I think he's a plant is because of how I would feel after I would watch his news show. I would feel scared. I would feel like, oh my God, this is gonna, and it would disempower me. And that's why I was like, okay, this is a statement. Because if something drains you that bad, it's a statement. Plain and simple. It's the result. How do you feel after I'm watching?
Think about.
He's a fearmonger, and then he started like I've had friends that are Muslim, rock solid people. I've had keys to their houses. I've had friends that are Jewish, rock solid people, gave me a home when I had no home. I've had friends that are Catholic, rock solid, salt of the earth, and they're all from different religions, right? But if you watch like I was watching Alex Jones, and I was like, he was going hard against the Muslims. Like, why are you so anti-Muslim, bro? All the Muslims that I know personally, they're the most nicest people you ever.
My biggest eye opener, with Muslims was one of my first jobs when I was teaching physical education in England. I was teaching it in Halifax, and they put me in basically every student was either a Muslim or like Eastern European. There was next to nobody there who was like, as we call it, 100% English. And I went in there at the beginning, you know what I mean? I'm like early 20s, a bit apprehensive. Like I've grown up at this school where everybody's white and got money and all of that. And I've go in there and they was the sweetest kids, the most amazing parents, like the teachers, because most of the teachers there were Asian. Every morning I'd go in there. Hey, Mr. Adam, I've got a new curry for you today. I'm like, go on, mate. Cheers, Iqbal. And all of that. They're like, no, my pleasure, my friend. They didn't question or ask me. This was at the time where I had no faith, by the way, in any God. That I didn't have that until like recently. And I don't look at people now. Well, maybe I did a little bit when I was younger. I think I may have done, to be honest with you, but with the way I was programmed and wired. But when I was teaching them, I wasn't looking at them as Asian kids. I was just looking at them for like, I don't even want to say human beings because I don't like that term, but like I was just seeing them for who they were, for the way they treated me. I didn't look at like that guy's Polish, that guy's from Pakistan, that guy's from Iraq, that guy's from Saudi Arabia. I didn't care. And they want us to care. That's why they always bring up racism, because the more you talk about racism, the more it occurs.
Chinese friends that were treating me like blood. I've had Korean friends I've been very blessed with a lot of good friends. I've had friends that are Indian. One of my best friends right now is Pakistani. I mean, and he treats me like a brother, man. I mean, I've had so many, so I know. But even my point of me bringing this up is when I watched Alex Jones, I was trying to like, oh yeah, Muslims are like this and Muslims are like that. I'm like, what the hell am I thinking? I would catch myself later, not quickly. I'm gonna be honest with you. Later, I'd catch myself like, why was I thinking that? Didn't I have my friend Muhammad who used to do this? And I had all these, Abdul, Muhammad, something else. just like John. That's a very common name. And I was like, why am I thinking that, man?
And again,
I had friends that were Palestinians that were like, you hungry, Dable? You want to eat? You want this? You want that? You use my car? I'm like, that's what I like. Whatever they have, and they thought I ate it, they offered it.
It's here. Like everybody warned me about moving to Mexico. I'm gonna get kidnapped, and I'm gonna be mistreated, and I'm gonna get abused, and that I get treated so well here.
At your bank, maybe they treat you.
Well, well, to be fair, the most recent time I went to the bank, there was one particular girl, and she really helped me. It's the first time since I've been here in Mexico where somebody generally looked like they wanted to help me. It wasn't, oh, I've got to do this. It's my work. They wanted me to get the money back. So, but yeah, like, I don't even like that we have to say Mexicans, Indians, Russians, because that's all a trap. All the nations is a trap. There's no such thing as them. It's a social construct. I say it all the time. So I don't even like having to say Muslims, and that's why I hate labels. I've told you that. Hate labels. Are you a Christian? Just pipe down. Are you a socialist? Are you a Democrat?
But you gotta do. My rule of thumb is I always give my enemy the opposite of what they want. The enemy wants to be divided and to hate each other, and it's all a joke, man. Because if you sit back and me myself, I can sit back and look at my life, and I have been treated good by everyone. I was never raised to be racist. My dad had friends that were black, white, good friends. I'm talking like good friends, not like little. My dad had like a handful. He's like me. He had a handful of friends that were like brothers. You know what I mean? Like good. And he had friends that were black like that, white. Like my dad did not like lazy people. If you were lazy,
yeah, I struggle with lazy people.
Yeah, and that's one thing me too. I don't like lazy people either. You know, I get mad at myself when I'm lazy. But he, other than that, he didn't care what we were, bro. Like people, and this was in the 70s and the 80s, and it wasn't like it is now. But that's the thing. They want us to be racist. They want us to be hating each other over something so stupid. When we all have the same problems. We all have the same needs. We all have the same wants. You know, and you gotta understand, there's different sects of every single. There's the two Muslim sects that I know of around the world are the Sunnis and the Shiites, and they eat each other's guts. They kill each other. Okay, the Jews, there's the Zionist Jews. They're the evil ones, in my opinion, from what I know, from very little that I know about them. There's the Orthodox Jews, there's like the salt of the earth Jews, and there's the regular Jews, and there's not. So there's all these different sects of Jews, and the Christians the same thing. Catholics, Mormon, Orthodox.
That's why you can't like define. You can't define a group of people.
No, you can't, because they want us. They don't want us to be united. They don't want us on one front because they'll never beat us. So what do? And that's why I can't stand TV, because it drops little poison pills. You have to learn.
When you watch TV, like a show, there's always a victim. There's always a victim.
Yes.
There's always that victim mentality. There's always someone getting bullied, or somebody being racially abused, or sexually abused, or physically abused, or mocked. So there's always that within these shows. And us as humans, for whatever reason, we love drama. The average human loves drama. They love serial killers. They love it.
I think what it is I think that we're, as a human being, we're always trying to be, we're designed so perfect and so phenomenal that we're always trying to fix things. So we're like, how do you fix something? Okay, we're fixers. We're creators. By nature, we're made to create.
Do you think that's why Satan's come up with artificial intelligence to do everything for us? Because he knows at heart that's who we are. We are creative, spiritual beings. And take away our creativity by creating AI that does everything for us.
It's not. They're just copying something. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun, bro.
There's nothing new under the sun.
That's what the Bible says in Proverbs. Proverbs is a good book to read.
Proverbs is amazing.
Yeah, Proverbs and Psalms. But Proverbs I like more because of wisdom.
Yeah. And the difference between knowledge and wisdom is knowledge is knowing something. Wisdom is knowing what to do with that knowledge.
Well, wisdom is two things. Wisdom is knowledge and understanding, both. It's
Yeah.
That's wisdom.
Knowledge is being aware of something, but it doesn't mean you're going to act on the knowledge. Wisdom is when you act on the knowledge.
Wisdom is a product of, it's a product of two root ingredients. The first root ingredient is knowledge. The second root ingredient is understanding. So that is wisdom. Those two. That's what wisdom is. But again, if you really want to understand what they really don't want you to understand is those hermetic principles, the 7 hermetic principles. You guys gotta, and it's in YouTube for free.
Mate, you've just said that about the 7 hermetic principles. I just checked my battery.
That's powerful.
No, but but I'm saying I just checked my battery and I have 7%. Yeah, I just checked it because I was like, maybe my.
That's God talking to you, brother.
Yeah, you just said the 7 hermetic principles. I checked my battery because I haven't charged it for a while. It's on 7%. I was like,
yeah.
And I just talked all about the 7, didn't I, with the 7 trumpets.
I cannot encourage these people that are on this live to right now inside of YouTube get it for free. It's called the 7 hermetic principles. It's about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 hours. I don't know how much it is. 2 to 3 hours. Find it. It's powerful. That's what they really don't want you to understand. Once you understand those 7 hermetic principles and you meditate on what they do and what they mean, everything will come to life.
The hermetic principles really help you connect with everybody, don't they?
That's why they don't want you to understand those, bro. They don't want you to.
Yeah, because it connects us. It doesn't divide us. They actually connect you. The hermetic principles.
It lets you know how powerful you are. Another thing you really should study is how to use your mind.
This is what I mean. Like if the education system wasn't basically an indoctrination camp, everyone in the world would have learned about the 7 hermetic principles in primary school.
It's called the Kabbalion. I'm sorry, the Kabbalion.
Yeah, it's with a KY. Give me 1 second, Biff. I'm gonna have to go in 2 minutes because one, it's gonna die, and I'm knackered. I've got to be up like 5:30 to teach. But let me find my see if I did the hermetic principles. I'm almost certain I did it, and if I did, I've got it. Wow, did I really do it that long? I've done a video 2 hours and 20 minutes. Guys, I did, and this is one of my favorite videos I've ever done. I've got my own there. Let me see how many views it has since we're talking about it. You know I'm obsessed with the numbers.
I'm gonna put the one in the chat that I listened to.
82 likes, 1,000 views.
There's one of them. It's called It's 3 hours and 43 minutes. I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
Put that one, and I would definitely recommend watching mine. Not because I want views. I get peanuts from YouTube, but I did the 7 hermetic principles. It's got 82 likes. Queen Elizabeth born 4-2 won the 82nd prime, and I've got 1,077 views. Like 17-7, like 17's the 7th prime. What the heck?
What's that?
I've got 1,077 views on my 7 hermetic principles, and 17 is the 7th prime. I streamed this, mate, on the 24th of June. This was the anniversary of Freemasonry being founded. That was founded 1717. Oh my goodness. This is Messi's birthday when I did this. I did it on Messi's birthday. I don't know if that's giving me a hint for Argentina. This stuff that happens, guys. Yeah, Kathy, soon I'm going to have 6.666 subs. Let's see how many people I actually have. No, seriously, I'm really close to it. Let me see how many people I need. This is going to be funny. Oh my word, I need 13 people for 666. Oh my God. And 13's the 6th prime. I need 13 people for 666. Oh my goodness. This is outrageous, isn't it? If YouTube delete me, if they take my channel down at 666, we know who's done it, don't we? We know who's done it.
There's another guy I want to recommend. It's called
5%.
Knowledge. It's a Billy Carson. I just subscribed to him. He has some stuff some stuff in there I don't agree with.
You're not supposed to agree with everything that a YouTuber says, though.
Well,
or anyone.
yeah, but he says some crazy stuff. But he's I think I'm thinking with I want to give you guys his channel. He charges $8 a month. I damn subscribe to him, and the reason I'm going to put him in the channel is because he's going to show you how to manifest, and it's in the Bible. But he just some of the stuff he says is pretty crazy. It's pretty out there, but he does have stuff that's backed by how to use your mind. Another guy that's pretty powerful. I don't put his name in there. Great. He talks about how to use your mind. He talks about how the Bible is coded.
Of course, the Bible's coded. There's a whole Bible that's dedicated to letters and numbers.
Here's the thing. He breaks it down with science.
I've got to be careful with science. Science is man-made, a lot of it.
Well, he's not. You'll check him out. See what you think.
Yeah, I'm not doing it now. I'm knackered, and I've got 4%. Is there anything, mate? This is what's beautiful. This is what's beautiful. This whole live stream was about a bullshit NFL game, which I nailed in play, but at the beginning didn't. But then it's led to us talk about some really deep stuff, mate, like the 7 Hermetic principles, the 7 trumpets.
Yeah, what I'm sharing in there is right now, if we understand how to use our mind, and we understand how powerful we are, and we understand that we are little gods and how to manifest being a little god, we stay humble, because you start being arrogant.
Stay humble, big.
Then you're done. It'll reverse on you. I'm older now, so I'm not. But you have to stay humble. You have to stay grateful. You have to not think just because you start learning this stuff, because it can be used for good or evil. It works. Gravity is for good and evil.
So is magic.
Water makes you wet, and then water makes you wet, whether you're good or evil. So these are stuff that you can use it for whatever you want, but it works. Because that's a big thing for me as a Christian.
Well, think about water. Water can save your life, but it can also, you can drown. You could also drown.
Yeah, exactly. But exactly right. But what I was saying is, what was hard for me to swallow is how do these evil people have so much money and seemingly happy? Because they're using the same rules. But as a Christian, as a force for good, if you use those strategies and those techniques and those methodologies in a good way, you're gonna beat the evil one, because when an evil person uses it for evil, he is less powerful than if you use it for good.
Think that Satanism, like you.
Exactly, but the light will always make dark go away. Light will always win dark. Is my point. But it can be used for good or evil. Man.
Yeah, but like you said with Satan and his temptation, it's all short term.
Correct.
It's all short term. That short term buzz that you get from drugs or from sex or from gambling, it's all short term. But you got the 7 deadly sins, which are obviously the 7 things God is said to hate in the book of Proverbs. And the reality is this. Okay, what are they? Pride, which is why we have Pride Month. There's greed, wrath, envy.
That's the thing I love. I never saw that. You said that.
Yeah, well, I said Pride Month has the word demon in the middle of it.
I never saw it, so you just said that.
But anyway, I know you've got pride, greed, wrath, envy, lust, gluttony, and I think and sloth. That's why we don't like lazy people.
Yeah, don't be lazy.
But and envy, like that's gone. I don't envy anyone in this world now. Like
I get inspired by people.
I'm not greedy. Like I'm not as egotistical. My pride, if a code misses or whatever, I don't let it hurt me like it used to hurt me. I think at the very beginning. Wait, what am I on? 3%. At the very beginning that I couldn't handle ever being wrong, could I? Do you remember? I couldn't handle being wrong. It would drive. It would ruin me for hours, and I was like, I ain't. All right, I got it wrong, but I'm right nearly all the time, so I can deal with it.
You condition your mind like you condition your body. It's rough in the beginning, but it gets better. You condition your mind just like you condition your body. I'll say it one more time. You condition your mind just like you condition your body.
Yeah. Condition. You got. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But I'm still jealous of Pink's Adonis belt. I'm very jealous of Pink's.
Oh yeah, that Adonis belt's pretty impressive. Like
I'm very jealous. You think if I work in the gym like a beast, I'm getting an Adonis belt just like.
I think if you give yourself up to Satan and say that's what you want, and you'll do a sacrifice for him, you'll have a Adonis belt in a couple of days. So anyway, this system and society, those at the top of it are there through pride, greed, wrath, envy, lust, gluttony, more often than not. That's why this, and sloth, even you often say that, wait, why is my boss getting 4 times the amount that I'm getting and he does half the work? Like,
your job, man. Go find
if you're in Satan's realm and you follow the 7 deadly sins rather than the 7 capital virtues, you are going to get rewarded in this realm. When you do the 7 virtues, that's why they always say, don't they always tell you good guys finish last?
That's a lie.
Yeah, but they'll give you that expression that good guys finish last. And do you know what the 7 heavenly virtues are?
No, I don't.
So they're basically chastity, temperance, charity, diligence, kindness, patience, and humility.
There's no law against diligence. I know that.
Yeah.
There's no law against diligence.
But the 7 heavenly virtues, they combine the 4 cardinal virtues, and you've got the 4 cardinal sins as well. But the 4 cardinal virtues are prudence, justice, temperance, and fortitude. So it's what do you want to do? Like in this world, when you like these Satanists will tell you that they're philanthropists and they give to charity and they're going to provide hope and they give you things like children in need. They're just playing with you. They're false prophets.
What I do,
mate, I've got like 1%, so we're gonna have to close this out.
Well, the way I give money away, because I do give money away, I give it to people that work hard. So I give a tip ridiculous. Like,
I can tell you generosity for what you've done with my website.
Well, the reason I tip ridiculous is because I'm not going to give money to a church. At 1 year,
I'd never give money to a church. Never. That's not what Jesus wants. Don't give your money to a church.
1 year, I gave a church $100,000. I had documents to prove it.
No, mate, I don't doubt anything you say.
I never did it again.
No, don't give money to the church.
Well, because I just don't. But I give money to hardworking people. Like it's hardworking. Like if I had a lot of money, I would give money to people.
Oh, I know you would. I know you would. Even if you don't have a lot of money, you would.
Well, but that's how I give back. Because you're supposed to give. I believe in giving 10% of what you make. I do believe in that, and the way I do it is to do like tips. Tips, like
Yeah, especially if you're in a certain, because most people live off tips, especially where I live. Like if they're working within a restaurant or whatever, they live off tips, and if they do an amazing job, but I will say this to you, bro. If somebody's serving me, for example, and they're half-assing it, they ain't gonna get a tip. I won't just give it to be nice. Like it's got to go both ways with me.
I do, man, because sometimes I do. It depends how I feel. Because
no, but then if you're tipping someone and they're half-assing it, then they're gonna believe that they can half-ass it and get rewarded.
Well, back when I was young and evil.
No, you wasn't evil.
I was pretty bad, bro. You don't know my past.
Yeah, but evil is a strong term. You're probably a bit of a lost soul.
I was a bit of a wild one. But anyways, I'd go to these really nice restaurants, and I was kind of a thug. So I'd go to these really nice restaurants, and if the waiter was not keeping an eye on us, I would take a $100 bill or a $50 bill. This was back in the okay, and I'd rip it in half.
Oh, as a sign of this, like you could have had that.
No.
Wow.
As a sign of I don't give a shit about the $100. I'd give them half, and next time I come in here, if you take care of me better than all these people that are in here, because it'd be like a very nice restaurant, like a restaurant, I'm going to tip you more than anybody in here. I would say it loud, but because you were not ignoring us, I'm going to give you half, and I can't spend it. You can't spend it. So next time I come in here, I'll give you the half if you take care of me.
And did they?
Yeah, a couple times.
Do you look back on that behavior now and feel absolutely sick and embarrassed?
Yes, 100%.
Well, that's fine then. It's a learning thing.
When I was a child, bro. I mean, I'm 51 right now, bro. I was 20s. I was in my 20s and I had more money than drinks.
Did you say you're 51 and my Hermetic Principles video has 51 comments?
I'll be 51 next month, bro. On the 13th.
Oh, so you're 50.
Well, yeah, but come on, man. Less than 30 days, I'll be 51. But this is back when I was young. So, but no, I'm not proud of that. But I was young. What do you expect me to do? I'm young. I got a shit ton of money. I have a lot of friends.
Young and dumb.
What do you expect?
Young, dumb, and naive.
With a lot of money. I was gonna have more money than Brady.
Oh yeah, we've all done crazy stuff, no doubt about it. We've all done things that we regret. It's part of the journey. Like for me, everything I've done, good and bad, every person that's loved me, respected me, or hated me, or ridiculed me, have led me to become who I am now. So I don't have any regrets. There's not one regret that I have. It's made me who I am now. Maybe without doing that action, maybe if you didn't rip up that $100 bill, you might not be the person you are now.
Every time I had bad service, that's what I would do. It would be my way of teaching that server a lesson.
Listen, Gabriel, this was absolutely incredible. It's actually been one of the favorite live streams I've done, and it was unexpected. I didn't think I'd be doing this, but I have to get off because it's going to go off, and I think it's really bad when it just cuts off. So I'm gonna hang up and say bye to the chat before my computer shuts down. And thank you for everything. That was great, mate. That was really amazing. Thank you.
No problem. My pleasure, man.
Good night. I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, Gabriel. Thank you. Bye-bye, love. Bye. All right, it's gonna go off. But thank you. Back's a bit tense. I won't be live tomorrow because I've got to teach 7 hours, these 3 students, teaching English. There's a few other stuff that I've got to do. I'm very busy the next few weeks, to be honest with you. But again, I didn't expect to go live now. I did. But oh, Kathy, you dropped me a message if you're still there about meeting. I'm actually going on a boat on Saturday from 12 till 4. So I won't be available. But maybe in the evening, if you're up for doing something. What do you have for dinner? I can't even remember. I think I had like a salad and what did I have with the salad? I made a homemade pizza. It was healthy. I made a homemade pizza and had salad with it. That was it. All right. So good night before this goes off. Take care. Much love to you. And again, guys, let's use this knowledge to grow, not to just try and grow your bank balance. All right. Grow your spirit. Build that spirit so you can wear the armor of God. All right. All right, I'm off. Cheers, Gabriel, if you're still listening. And take care, guys. Actually, I'm going to get to 217 if I can. I don't want 216 because that's 6 times 6 times 6. Let's get to 217. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. There we go. 217. Michael Jordan's birthday. February the 17th. Take care. Much love. I'm off to go try sleep. Bye.